This is exactly the way things are supposed to be. What I'm saying is this is absolutely intended. People just need to relax. So after some tinkering, I turned Zephyr into a stationary nuke that does so much damage, has crazy high kills per minute by just staying in one spot. What's good, folks? It's Nightmare Frame here with a new Warframe video coming at you with a Zephyr nuke build. It's an ability nuke build. So what exactly have I done here? Simple. Hydra just got reworked, right? Yeah. Tempest Barrage. Now, what does this ability actually do? You call forth the storm and rain down upon your enemies. Deal a bunch of corrosive damage, and each hit that lands has a little explosion radius. And it also has an augment called Viral Tempesto. It's exactly how you pronounce it, trust me, I know. This applies the viral status effects to the original corrosive damage. So you're dealing corrosive damage, proccing the corrosive status effects, while also applying viral. So this ability is self-priming, while it strips armor, not 100% because it's not an Hydroid, while dealing a heck ton of damage. We can't cuss. What makes this combo really good on Zephyr? Well, it's to do with her tornadoes. They have elemental and physical damage along with status and crit adaptation. The crit adaptation is more likely a feature that DE still doesn't know how to deal with just yet. So we're not going to talk about that because we're not dealing with crits. When you deal damage to the tornadoes, it distributes 100% of the damage to the enemies trapped within it. And the crit damage dealt to enemies is multiplied by 200%. Now, originally, this ability has 3 tornadoes, but I'm also using the augment Funnel Clouds. So what does the augment do? It increases the amount of tornadoes from 3 to 11. However, the downside to this is that the tornadoes are then reduced in size, no longer lift enemies, and grab slightly less enemies. But with the increase in tornadoes, you get an increase in damage. The innate lift mechanic is removed, but you can still apply that lift mechanic by using your second ability. Just yoinking them into the tornadoes, and then they start floating up. The most important thing about activating your tornadoes is that you want to hold cast. Hold casting essentially holds the tornadoes in place, like you're holding them there. Because if you quick tap, they're just gonna run around and find enemies. We don't want to do that. We want to stay in one spot, pull them in, and rain down hell upon them. Strength is a huge boon to any Funnel Clouds build. As I said that, you may have noticed I have 105 strength. But no worries, we'll have more than enough. With that little introduction to the build, let us go to Steel Path and show you how this build works. Okay, here we are in Steel Path. I'm in a Lua conjunction survival right now. You may have noticed I have my little Worm Prime just hanging above me. Worm is going to be my main source of survivability and a little bit of priming. Not the kind of priming that allows me to deal damage, but the priming that removes auras. Why did I say my main source of survivability? It's the only thing that's going to replenish my shields. I do have the third ability Turbulence, so let's demonstrate how this works. Now we need to find a good spot to be in. Oh, this is perfect. Make sure to use Matarai, hold cast, and there's press 1. I'm going to Transference because I'm using Magus Anomaly. And just keep pressing 1 into their tornadoes. And anything that comes into contact will get destroyed. Me performing this Transference also gives me the Matarai casting because me performing these Transference gives me the Matarai casting speed buff. Look how enemies are destroyed. I'm going to use the Fell Arcs to get rid of the Xmas real quick because, you know, stupid Overguard issues. And keep pressing 1. We're just going to stay in this one spot. Do a little Void Sling here to get my Sling Strength buff. Recast Tornadoes. Transference. Look how that Xmas just destroyed my shields and I get them instantly replenished thanks to the Worm. Mercy killing these enemies also benefits me because I get some bonus strength on top of that. Get rid of him, do a little Mercy finisher. Void Sling, recast Tornadoes, and that buffs my Tornadoes. I haven't actually tried the damage against those Thrax units, so we'll see. That's why I came here, for a nice live demonstration. Jeez. Oh, the Sentience just gets demolished. Holy crap. Let me just do a Mercy on you. Why not? Oh, here comes the Acolyte. This is easy money. Don't worry. Even if it's violence. Oh, come on. I wanted it to be violence. I wanted to flex so hard on you. Yeah, by the way, that's what's happening with the Acolyte. Perfect. Here's some Thrax units. Oh my god, it destroyed. Oh my god! Oh my god! Thrax just got destroyed. Damn. So yeah, this build shreds everything. Again, I haven't moved from this spot. Ancient healers, screw your aura. Get that radiation proc on you. Okay, here we are in the Simulacrum. That's exactly how you pronounce it. Trust me, I know. Let me show you the builds. Now, the one thing you may have noticed is that there are no Archon shards because I didn't have any to spare and the build didn't need any. That's how damn good this is. So Tornado is the main source of damage buffing and amplification for Tempest Barrage. Tempest Barrage being my main source of damage. Air Burst for the radial suck, just if you want some ragdolling, but I don't really use it because my main source of grouping is Magus Anomaly. Turbulence, you know, cast it here and there just to give you that juicy bullet deflection. Anyway, let's start off with Zephyr. In the aura, I have Corrosive Projection. This, my friends, is for the 18% minus armor. This is very good since I'm dealing mainly corrosive damage. If you want a little boost in strength, you can use Growing Power. Surprisingly, there are some geniuses who only think that Growing Power works on allies. You know the mod has been out for a while, right? Several sources of information. Range at 175% with a rank 4 overextended. This build is tight and it needs every little thing here. You can improve on this build by adding Archon shards so you can replace Constitution for another mod, a strength mod, for even more damage. Prime sure-footed because spending less time on your butt is a huge DPS increase. Efficiency at 175% thanks to fleeting expertise and streamline at rank 4. Fleeing expertise being at rank 4 also saves me a bit of duration. Viral Tempest for the viral status effect, pretty damn good. Funnel Clouds for the increase in tornadoes. And of course, it increases your damage since you have more tornadoes. And to balance out the negative strength from overextended, I do have Transient Fortitude. So we have two things here that are hurting duration. And I don't want to use Blind Rage or anything because we need the efficiency. Because you're going to be spamming abilities like crazy. For the additional strength, I do have Molt Augmented. This gives me 60% strength and 40% strength from Madelrise Sling Strength. Perform 2 Void Slings for the boomers like me. That's called a Void Dash. And you get 40% strength. 60 plus 40, 100. And as you saw from the gameplay, I'm performing my transference quite a lot. And that's also activating this Power Transfer, giving me 50% casting speed, which is a natural talent or 2 Amber Shards. However, if you want additional strength when you recast your tornadoes, you have Mercy Finishers. Because you saw me performing Mercy Finishers on some Xmas units. Xmas guarantee you health, energy, and ammo, which is pretty damn good. But performing a Mercy Finisher, thanks to a certain Parazon mod, grants you 50% more strength. This strength is added on to your other modifiers, but unfortunately it's only for one cast, so I would highly recommend when you get this buff, use it for your tornadoes, since this buff will snapshot into them. And another good thing is, when you perform those Mercy Finishers, I'm also granted additional energy, thanks to Blood for Energy. For additional crowd control, I got Out of Sight. This will blind enemies with an 18-meter radius. They're confused with radiation, they're being sucked in thanks to Anomaly, and they're blinded when I Mercy Finisher. Now moving on to the Worm Prime build. This is the Funnies Worm Prime build because not only does it cleanse you of a status effect every 5 seconds, and grant you some bonus shields and a bit more loot. Yes, this is the Funnies build. You can use this for farming and survivability. Now, the order of the mods matter. Also notice that one of the mods isn't maxed. I want it to be like that, and I will explain why. Starting off with Guardian, this is going to be my shield refresh. I put this in the beginning because I want this to be the priority mod to be activated on my Sentinel, and then Negate to prevent a status effect from applying every 5 seconds. A status effect. It's not status immunity. I have Assault mode. Now, I didn't max this out because I don't want it to shoot enemies pretty far. I want it within 20 meters because Sentinels and Companions just have a weird AI. They can have an enemy right here. It will ignore that enemy and turn around, shoot another enemy 50 miles away. I kept it within the 20-meter radius, so it can just go, keep close. It's like, I'm gonna shoot this guy. I see you. I'm not going to target that guy. Spare parts, every few seconds is going to highlight an enemy, and that enemy is going to drop bonus loot. Pretty good for farming if you don't want to use a Smita and all that. Vacuum for the radial suck and loot. Then we have Manifold Bond. This is damn good. Dude, we don't care about the first part. Killing enemies with 3 or more status effects will reduce the cooldown of my Sentinel abilities. Huh? Yeah. And of course, survivability mods here, calculated redirections, got a lot of shields and enhanced vitality. Mystic Bond. When my companion uses 5 abilities, I get 1 free cast of my own ability. If you want additional survivability, you can also run Shield Charger here. To be honest, like legit. Prime Regen is good, but I just haven't noticed them take as much damage if you're running a massive crowd control build and nuke build. So that's up to you. But if you want to be safe, keep Regen, Prime Regen, whatever. For the weapon, I'm using the Hellstrom here. Hellstrom is pretty good for priming, as it has multiple pellets, and it's a burst fire, and it also has a nice AoE explosion of 3 meters. Taking a look at the build, heavy caliber, so you can spread those projectiles, split chamber, armaments for the multi-shot, so I get 2.5 additional pellets. Speed trigger and vial acceleration for the fire rate. I want this to shoot as fast as possible. It's burst fire. And I have here radiation and toxin. Radiation to confuse enemies so they're less likely to attack me and focus on their allies. The good thing about radiation is that it removes any auras that enemies provide to each other. Ancient healer auras, little shield drone auras, that's all gone. It disables that. That's the good thing about radiation. And the weapons here are up to you. Felarx, if you want to hard focus on an Eximus unit, you want to get rid of him as quickly as possible, right? Let's take a look at the evolution. This one, and that one, and this one, and that one. More fire rate, better reload, reduce the crit chance, and increase damage when you don't crit. Fractalized reset is going to be here. Base damage, bunch of reload speed, just a bunch of reload speed. So use an ability, shoot, instant reload. Its main focus is to get rid of Overguard, because even though this synergy is very strong, Overguard is still an issue. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been it from me. I do hope you've enjoyed this video and learned something from it. And if you did, please feel free to leave a like, share, and subscribe. For more Warframe content, streams, and so much more, do refer to the description. Thanks for watching, and as always, a peace. I died. I died. This son of a bitch survived. And there was a... Say, you gotta do the radial suck with your anomaly. Trust me, this build works. This is just a blooper. See you next time. Bye-bye now.